Who's here?
Sam is here.
Yeah. Burberry scars, stripping Perry on, living like a comet, moving amongst the stars. $100,000 sports cars, silk massage, menage a trois. Yes, I've been a boss. Sauntering, maitre d' staying flabbergasted. Her ass about the size of an infant's casket. Still a large ass. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the number one show in Stamford, Connecticut, Jacksonville, Florida, Nashville, Tennessee, North Carolina, parts unknown, and the undead realm. Welcome to Top Rope Wrestling Talk. And man, it is good to be back. We have so much to talk about, but first we've got to get through the introductions of this motley fucking crew. And I'm gonna start where I did last week. Fuck it. We are joined by the first lady of Top Rope Wrestling Talk. She is the whole ass vibe, the ninth wonder of the podcasting world, because we don't treat her like a woman, but we damn sure don't treat her like a man. Yeah, she is everyone's favorite grandma, Latina heat herself, Wendy. I was trying to grab China behind me so she could dance, but I couldn't. Good try. And then there's me. Yes, me. Not the D-O-double-G, but the greatest group champ in history. I am the producer, the soundboard by God extraordinaire, the jack of all trades, the master of absolutely none. I am your friendly neighborhood psycho and lunatic fringe of podcasting, and kind of exhausted, so forgive me for fumbling, guys. The one and only D-O-L. Oh my god, it's so good every time. Let's fucking go! It still gets me so amped. And no episode of Top Rope would be complete without the founder of Top Rope Wrestling Talk, ladies and gentlemen. He is the biggest MJF mark you will ever fucking meet. The salt of the earth of podcasting. The man with the Burberry scarf and the majestic beard. The one, the only, Bruce.
Yes, I am.
And he knows it.
Yes, I do. Holy shit. The fucking wrestling world of news is overflowing this week. There's like,
right?
Because when I put a rundown together, there's weeks where it's like, holy shit, all this is happening. And then there's weeks where it's like, damn, what the hell am I going to find for us to talk about? This week,
right,
there's an abundance of stuff to talk about in the world of wrestling. And let's get into it by this first segment is actually about NJPW keeping up with keeping up with standards. In a tweet from NJPW Global, in adapting NJPW, holy shit, I said that a million times in 2 minutes.
Just say New Japan.
You can just say New Japan, bro. We get it.
Yeah.
Just simplify your letters.
At least I try to help.
The letters are in the tweet. They were right in front of my face, and I just had to read them because that's where they were. So in order for New Japan is adapting to the global standard and audience expectations. We will be seeing women's wrestling from Stardom in New Japan of America rings moving forward. New Japan is basically saying they are now moving up to the Americans' standard of wrestling by having Stardom on their cards, and I find this to be fucking amazing and great
Yes.
news.
Yep.
And I'm going
Absolutely.
to turn this over to Wendy because I know how excited this makes her when women get more women get platforms on television. So Wendy, please take it from here.
This is so fucking amazing. Because, like, if you don't watch Stardom, if you don't know about these lovely ladies, do yourself a fucking favor. YouTube it. Go to Google. Watch them. They go hard. Like, when they come over
Hard.
to, like, WWE and stuff, like, that is nothing compared to what they do back in Japan. It's not just hard. It's hard. Every letter is felt in your soul, man. Like, I'm
It's like the
so hyped
opposite of
about
what Big
this.
Cass used to say.
Yes,
Yeah.
all the
There's nothing
fucking way.
soft. It's all
I'm
hard.
incredibly excited about this. Like, this is going to be a great opportunity, and I think it's fantastic. Like, if you've never seen them, like I said, do yourself the favor, catch them, watch, go to Google, look it up, Stardom Wrestling, and be amazed. And that's all I've got to say about that.
Real quick, Dom, before you chime in,
How
I want to say something for the people out there that know nothing about Stardom.
Yep.
If you like Asuka, this is an entire roster of Asukas. That's all I got to say.
Times fucking 10.
Dom, please give us your
fucking
thoughts.
own it.
I think somebody's just as amazed because Wendy said hard.
Bunch of goon asses.
I couldn't help myself. Click the link, will you? I want to know who said it. No, I am so happy to hear this news. I almost wish this would have happened before Forbidden Door, but that's just. But who cares? If anything, it just gives us more to look forward to at Forbidden Door 2.
Yes.
Next year. Stardom talent in an AEW ring. I'm already excited. I think this is long overdue. I mean, you know, there are people in other podcasts, and even we at times have said companies like AEW doesn't use the women's division properly. You know, MLW should have had a women's division. New Japan has been around longer than any of them combined and have never had a women's division.
Actually, sorry, Dom.
And if they have, it wasn't in my lifetime, as far as I can remember. This is huge. I'm going to do another word like hard. This isn't huge. This is huge. It's hard and huge. Okay, now somebody's laughing. I know somebody's laughing. Anyway. I love this. I mean, I can just, you know, I'm just sitting there picturing like Wendy's homegirl Watanabe versus like Kairi Sane.
Yes.
On New Japan television.
So amazing. So amazing.
Hard and huge. That's what she said. What's up, Chris?
Did she die?
I am over the moon for this. I have been a Stardom fan for quite a while, and not only to see them, you know, first merge with New Japan, but now get this opportunity in Japan and New Japan move forward like this. It's beautiful.
Yep.
I have nothing bad to say, and I usually have something bad to say about damn near everything.
Right.
Wow, we're getting comments. I love it.
Over the moon.
Over the moon, including the traditional "We live, baby." Damn right we are. Damn right we are, Cope.
Yes.
Once again, shout out Dirty Heels.
All it took for us to get this much participation.
Okay, sorry. Go ahead, Wendy.
All it took for us to get this much participation is for us to say horde and huge.
And huge.
People are like, nobody ranked it. Nobody ranked it.
I mean, we are talking about women's wrestling.
True.
And yeah, I guess, Chris, technically New Japan would have a women's division At least in the United States, it's
Yeah.
going to be because they said New
Mhm.
Japan, U.S. strong, like New Japan strong, like U.S. TV. I don't know how they're
Yeah.
going to do things in Japan. That still remains to be seen, but it's a step in the right direction. Like a
Mhm.
couple.
It is a massive step in the right direction.
Yeah,
So-
everybody's saying it's great news. Coach says it's long
Mhm.
overdue. What's up,
Absolutely.
Oh, fuck
Mikey?
yeah.
You know, my son Logan says hi. Hey, Logan,
up,
what's
Logan?
happening, homie?
So
I don't know if you should be watching us, but hi.
So
we love you too, Coach.
moving on down the card for the night.
Uh-huh.
You know, there's actually some more big news in the world of independent wrestling.
Yes.
OVW has been having some very strong talks with Netflix about being their first actual wrestling promotion on there. I don't know. I feel like Al Snow's making some big moves, you know. This this could be really huge for OVW. And OVW's turned out a lot of major stars. John Cena, Batista, Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton.
Mhm.
All came out of OVW.
Yep.
True.
So
True.
So we know that this company and organization can produce talent. Why not
Mhm.
give them a platform? You know?
Yes. Absolutely.
I mean, I've been following OVW for a minute because they popped up somewhere on social media with like a clip, and I thought it was a throwback clip because I didn't think they were still around. But then
I didn't either.
I shortly realized later, like this was recent. Al Snow bought them. He revived them. He brought in, developmental talent, but he also brought in some guys we know from like Impact back in the day, whether it be like Jesse Goddard's,
Yep.
Mabali Shira.
Mhm.
There's a couple other guys off the top of my head too, but some of the young talent that they have is amazing. Like if you haven't seen, I think his name is Omar Amir, their heavyweight champion. That dude is a beast.
Mhm.
Like shit, that guy is a star on the rise. I would love because I was all for when Lucha Underground was rumored to be going to Netflix. I was like, oh, you
Oh
need to do
yeah,
that
no, I
shit.
was totally hyped
You will
about
have
that.
more
but-
people watching that than they will ever watch on El Rey because nobody gets El Rey.
No,
I had to get direct
And-
TV
and-
to get El Rey.
I use
You-
Sling
you
TV
and me
because we
both,
don't
bruh.
use cable, and so like that's the only reason we got El Rey Network
Yeah.
because we use Sling, and it was part of this like package of weird channels, which is how we got access as well.
Yeah, I had DirecTV, so I was watching it, but I mean, I was all for it, and considering how big Netflix is and how many people probably watch wrestling on it anyway, I know all three of us probably have it, and we do. It was going to be huge for them. It's going to be almost as big for OVW. I know they don't have the star power of a Lucha Underground like they did back in the day, but they've got some guys that if you're willing to kind of stick it out with them and get to know them, like you're gonna fucking love them.
Here's the
Oh,
thing.
yeah.
Al Snow's budget went from popcorn and peanuts to thousands of dollars.
Yep.
And he's now if this deal actually goes through, he has more production power. He's going to be able to have bigger shows. They're going to be able to go on the road.
Yep.
Oh, absolutely.
You know,
Absolutely.
this is
It's
going to
definitely
be
They're
great
gonna
for
be able to
indie
step their
wrestling.
game
Like
up.
it's definitely great for indie wrestling. It's bringing a spotlight to a whole other promotion and giving mainstream audiences an opportunity to experience wrestling, not sports entertainment.
And
Yeah.
here's the thing. Let's be honest. More
be-
people in America and the world are on Netflix and Peacock and all these other networks
Streaming
than they are
services, yeah.
cable TV now.
Yeah.
If you
Even
really
even
stop
I
and
got rid
think
of my
about it.
cable TV. Like I
I
just
don't have
watch
cable.
YouTube TV. I'm
I-
like, screw it.
no.
I get all my channels here for less. I'm good.
Yeah.
Like I said, we use
And-
Sling, and
and-
it's basically like cable that gets streamed.
Yeah.
Yeah, same thing, pretty much.
Mhm.
And you know what, De Niro, I I couldn't agree more. Like OVW is one of the best kept secrets in wrestling. So to get that out there on
the secret's
Netflix
out.
and get people to actually see it, if it comes out, it could really blow up. Like
It's gonna be
I'm
great for them.
excited
It's
for that
definitely gonna be
too.
great for wrestling.
Yes, it is. This
I feel like
I'm
this is
not-
something, by the way, that MLW should have done.
Listen,
Instead of reach out to all these other little
Bruce?
networks, like they should have gone for Netflix.
So
Bruce, you were saying?
we always
Sorry.
say history repeats itself, right?
Yep.
Right.
We have a WWE, we have an AEW. What are we missing? We're missing that ECW from the Attitude Era, and it's looking like OVW is going to become that ECW-esque company.
I can see that. They're going to close that gap.
They could be the actual alternative.
They could be the alternative to the alternative.
Yeah.
Yeah, they could be what everybody thought AEW was planning to be. I don't know if they ever were. They used the word, but yes, to a point, they are the alternative. But it's also hard to be the alternative when you have half the WWE roster on yours.
No,
fair.
But I mean, you understood what I was saying. They can fill that ECW void in this era that needs that third company.
Yeah.
OVW is on a channel called NXT.
Ironically enough.
Yes.
Yeah, 2.0 is kind of a far cry from OVW these days, bro. I mean, that's just I get it, and it's funny, and you're not wrong, but they're kind of a far cry.
Yeah.
So
it would be more like if you miss Black and Gold, go watch OVW.
Yes. Moving on to some more. What the fuck? Or not even really a what the fuck. It's why the fuck now? With Vince McMahon. Like,
oh yeah,
I'm glad it's coming out. Like, and I love the fact that this came from the Wall Street Journal. This didn't come from freaking the dirt sheets. This didn't come from anyone
like
that talked to their source or anything like that. This came from the fucking Wall Street Journal. So we're gonna make this a 3-part segment. So because it's 3 different allegations. So yes, Vince has been now under an investigation for $12 million out to 4 different women.
12.3. Okay,
12.3. My bad,
Jesus.
So we all know about the first one, that started this whole investigation. So the last 3. Okay, the first one we're going to talk.
3 or 4 women?
It says 4 women, but there was already one that came out that started the case.
Yeah.
Yeah, as
so
12 million to 4
these
women
are
over the last 16 years. 16 years. What the fuck?
And these guys, these women are the last 3. So this deal includes a $7.5 million pact with a former wrestler who, alleged that McMahon coerced her into giving him oral sex and then demoting her, and ultimately declining to renew her contract after she resisted further sexual encounters. The wrestler and her attorney reached a deal with McMahon in 2018 in return for her silence. Are you fucking kidding me?
Nope. You know what I thought when I read that? After the original allegation, we were looking into it. We were finding things, conflicting reports. Like one of them even brought up, I believe it was Rosa Mendez, allegedly.
Michael Ray, I'd do it for 5.
Yeah. I hate to be not serious for a minute, but I might too, homie. I'm not gonna lie, Big Mike. But I'm almost wondering if we had trouble finding the actual story on the original woman that brought this to light because there were multiple women.
Yeah. Wendy,
if there was
sorry,
any
Dom.
validity to the whole Rosa Mendez thing.
Yeah. Wendy, what are your thoughts on this allegation that has come out?
None of this is surprising at all.
It's really
Like,
not.
no. You
No.
can, like, everything about him, like, you could just tell he's a scummy guy. And then this comes out, and it's just kind of like, I didn't just think he was scummy. He is
is.
He
scummy.
is.
Like,
Yeah.
he's a complete fucking scumbag.
I hear. I mean,
Yeah, no, like, it's no shocker whatsoever. That poor woman who received the unsolicited nudes. What the fuck, man?
Wait.
Like, no one wants unsolicited dick pics. Put that shit away, y'all. Like,
Right?
oh my god.
like,
Okay.
Jesus, be
no
an
pun
SVU
intended.
detective, because
No pun intended, but that's a dick move.
So
yeah,
so
no pun fully intended.
so since Wendy
Bruh,
let the
a
cat
Dark
out of
Side of the Ring special would be like a week-long thing.
Right?
so
I mean,
since,
honestly, when sorry.
so since Wendy jumped right into the second one that we were going to talk to instead of talking about the one that we were talking about, I'll let you guys know what that one was about.
So the second one.
So the second one, a WWE contractor presented the company with unsolicited nude photos of McMahon. She reported receiving from him and alleged that he had sexually harassed her on the job. McMahon agreed to pay her roughly $1 million. Vinny, dick pics. Really? I think Wendy said it all.
Is that going to be
Like-
like
No
a
one
new
knows that.
wrestling gimmick? Instead of the $1 Million Man, we're going to have the $1 Million Dick Picker.
Oh my God.
He's just going to start throwing hundos in the crowd at somebody and then snap a photo and be like, give me your phone number.
Ugh.
And,
Fuck.
and the last one, and honestly, I think this might be Terry Reynolds. In 2006, a former manager who had worked 10 years for McMahon before he allegedly initiated a sexual relationship with her was paid $1 million to keep quiet about it. That's who I think it is.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if that's who it was.
I mean, honestly, like I'm hearing this stuff and I'm agreeing with Big Mike here where he says, like, you know, it's not exactly news because we all knew it's been going on.
yeah.
And my reaction even to you guys and when we were talking about it before the show was like, when I saw this, I immediately went back to like growing up in the 90s and being a fan of Tupac. And when there was news that he was shot or arrested, I just went, again? Really? Like, how many times are we going to hear the same shit about the same person? But this one is a little different because of the severity. Like again, this is huge, you know?
Yeah.
But so I was discussing this before the show, and I was saying, personally, it's a weird blessing in disguise because this is a good way to push him out and have others step in. Stephanie is already the interim, but this gives the board, regardless of what gets found, it gives the board of trustees an opportunity to really just drop him off and be like, you know, just get your finger out of the pudding. You're not allowed to touch the product anymore. You have no integrity. You're trash. And now we have to rework the image of the company because of you. So you fucked us, and now you're gone. And giving this to Stephanie, Trips, and not Tony Khan,
Not Tony Khan.
is definitely, I think,
Nick.
a good move because
Nick.
yeah, not Tony. So it's
Not
definitely a good
Tony.
move.
I like that.
It'll give the company an
I do.
opportunity to not just revamp their image, but their product to modernize and to improve.
Yeah. I think we all have the unanimous answer to this question. De Niro asks, has sending a dick pic ever worked as a pickup line in the history of history?
Fuck no. Unsolicited dick
The
pics.
answer to that is probably
Fuck
no. I wouldn't know. I honestly, De Niro, I wouldn't know. I got married before smartphones. There was no such thing as an unsolicited
Yeah.
dick pic. I would have needed like a Polaroid and a stamp and an envelope and everything else. Like if you're getting one for me, you asked for it.
So we were talking about Netflix not too long ago in OVW. Wendy has some Vince McMahon and Netflix news that I had never heard of until right before we went on the air. And I think it's a great thing for us to share with everybody.
This was posted by Dirt Sheet Radio on Facebook, so check them out. They're interesting. And they posted, breaking, Netflix cancels upcoming Vince McMahon documentary. The doc was deep into post-production with millions of dollars spent. Sources tell Denise Salcedo, who I guess is a reporter, that the Vince McMahon Netflix documentary has been pulled and is off the programming spreadsheet at Netflix. A source at Netflix confirmed the documentary is no longer listed on their spreadsheet. Another source at Netflix told her, that shit's out of here. Another source indicated that the project was already deep in post-production. Several talent interviews had been done months ago and that millions were spent. Salcedo spoke to one of the producers on the project. However, they declined to confirm nor denied the story to her. Or, I should say, or deny. But yeah. So that's happening.
Yeah.
That's a thing. Wendy brought it to our attention like literally minutes before we got on.
Split
So if it came
second,
out
right
before that,
before.
we didn't know. So we figured you
Yeah.
should know. Like damn, that's for Netflix to scrap a project they put millions of dollars into. And we're again, I don't know how we keep getting to these words that we're deep into production.
Deep.
Like that speaks volumes. I don't know. I've played off a lot of stuff that Vince did. When people get, even when this last round of shit came out and everybody was jumping the gun, they're gonna get rid of Vince. I was like, no, they're not. And then he showed up on TV every week. This time I'm thinking there are so many ways that this shit could hit the fan for Vinny. Doesn't matter if it's professionally, doesn't matter if it's like personally. He has violated not only women but so many different laws.
Oh yeah.
The SEC is not happy about it.
Oh no.
No, the SEC is like, this motherfucker.
Especially if this motherfucker is using company money to hush victims of his abuse, harassment, infidelity, and all that.
Everything.
That's not a good look at all. I think even Kevin Dunn got in some trouble in the midst of this for some
for
Martha
insider
Stewart
trading
type of shit.
Yes.
Knowing that WWE stock was going to kind of take a dip, he
did a little
encouraged
insider
people
trading, did some dumping, etc.
To kind of dump their shit and run, and who knows where that's going to go. And I feel bad because I love that guy, but and again, even when Martha did it, I didn't think it was that big of a deal. That's not illegal. That's a hookup.
Not according to the SEC.
If somebody came to me and said, "You got this stock, you better get rid of it. You're gonna be fucked," I'll be like, "Thank you." And if that person goes to jail, I'm breaking them out.
According to the SEC, not only is it bad, it's highly illegal.
Because like not Tony Khan, I would be not broke or bankrupt, so I would break that son of a bitch.
Now, I got one more thing I want to throw in here and kind of get you guys to weigh in on this. Do you think this will hurt WWE's relationships with USA and Fox? Knowing that Vince McMahon was in charge in those deals, do you think USA will drop them because Vince was the reason they were on that channel?
I mean,
I don't see Fox doing
USA,
it. Considering who Fox has supported throughout history and Trump, I highly doubt they'll drop Vince. As for USA, as long as they're still getting money out of it, I don't see them dropping it. I mean, look at the Chrisleys. The Chrisleys were just recently indicted for tax fraud. Millions upon millions of tax fraud. But Chrisley Knows Best is still on TV. So I don't see them being dropped by the USA.
And it's this is nothing about the numbers, Ted. This is about, do these companies want to be known to work with someone like him? Do they, or I don't, nope. He just tarnished our reputation. Goodbye.
I mean,
See you
I
later.
think if anything, that fact would probably push the board of directors to vote Vince McMahon out.
Yep.
And go to these networks and be like, look, we found out about this when you did. We've had a great relationship. We want to continue this. He's gone. We're going to move forward. We hope we move forward with you. That would be the smartest business decision to be made out of anything they could possibly do.
Yeah.
If they stick with Vince, I mean, it kind of feels like USA has been on the outs with WWE ever since Fox got involved, maybe even before. So they might be a little quicker to cut bait and run. Fox, on the other hand, has been, I mean, SmackDown has been very successful for them.
Yeah.
I know people talk about Raw being the A show, but when you look at the shows and the ratings of the shows, it ain't.
Yeah. I mean, personally, I prefer SmackDown over Raw. So
they literally promote SmackDown everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'll be honest, I don't know how many people watched it, but I was watching the USFL over the from Easter up through last week, and you could not get through a commercial break without them either going into another SmackDown commercial or coming back and having the announcers talk about SmackDown.
Mm-hmm.
Like that is a flagship show on Fox. So I don't think they'd be that quick to say you got to go, but I think they might turn around and say, if you want to stay, he got to go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So moving on up the card. Hey, Wendy.
Yeah, Bruce.
Wendy.
Yeah, Bruce.
Oh, we going there?
Wendy.
Yeah, Bruce.
This is your segment.
Ah.
Yeah, it is.
Wendy, just take it away.
Okay. All right. So get ready for this. I'm kind of conflicted about this. So okay, congrats to Wardlow for being the TNT champion. Good for you and all that. Although honestly, not happy with it.
Okay, you need to say that to his face.
If this is their way, I'm not happy with Wardlow as the TNT champion. I'm looking at him. If this is their way of redeeming how they handled his storyline, it's weird. I don't really like it too much. It feels, I don't know, it just doesn't feel like the timing is right. I wanted Sky to have a good, healthy, long heel run with the TNT title. I would have loved to see him just like knock people down here and there and just be like, can't bring me down, but it is what it is, I guess. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. Like, good for him, but I'm not a fan of it. No. Shocker. And Bruce, you're speechless. My God.
I'm not even pretending.
I didn't even get interrupted for once.
Like, seriously?
All
the weeks of shut the fuck up, Daddy Wardlow's on, and he wins a title, and you're like, meh.
Because it doesn't feel, I don't know, it feels like a bad making up for how we handled his story kind of thing. Kind of like, your dad missed your birthday, and to make it up to you, he bought you a pack of Marlboros for your 8th birthday, and you're like, bro, I can't even legally smoke these.
Whoa.
Technically, it was my 9th.
Here's the thing,
but you get what I mean.
Wardlow did say in an interview that he wasn't going to challenge for the AEW title until Punk came back, and
This is true. But I'm not saying
Live
that
mic, middle of the ring.
Challenge for that instead. What I'm saying is that, like, I don't know. It feels like a bad makeup. Like, they should have made up for how they handled his story a little differently. Instead of having him do that like class action lawsuit match and all that bullshit. I get that they didn't
I
have
don't know
an
what
opponent. I get that they didn't have an opponent lined up for him. And I understand that at least this way it'll be like open challenges and let's see who steps up to start a rivalry with him, blah blah blah. But I don't know, it just didn't feel right. It just felt weird.
Okay.
Well, Dom.
Oh, hey Sam, what's going on, Adam? How you doing, guys?
Hey guys.
First off, like, outside of I know the security guard thing was complete bullshit. It was whack. But I think that was, as Wendy alluded to, a combination of we don't have an opponent for this guy, and we don't have an opponent for this guy because somebody went home and everybody else is hurt.
Mm-hmm.
So they had to come up with something, and they came up with that on the fly. So I kind of take that with a grain of salt. Outside of that, I have absolutely loved Wardlow's ascension, if you will, from basically the lackey, the heater, the guy that doesn't talk and doesn't wrestle, and just stands in the ring and just stands at ringside and hands out a ring, to a guy who, gets on his own 2 feet, starts dominating, breaks away, gets his freedom, turns around, goes back after Scorpio Sky, who had truly screwed him out of that TNT title in the first place, after saying, as Bruce said live on Dynamite, he doesn't want to challenge. He doesn't want to challenge for the world title until Punk comes back, because he wants the champion, not the interim guy. He wants the champion. So what better way in the meantime than to go and kind of get revenge on a guy who you should have beaten already, and should have taken a title from already, and maybe hold that belt for a few months and kind of be, and kind of use it as a stopgap to continue your build and to give Punk time to come back. Not only that, I've heard, like, Wendy said it, and I've heard other people say, now everybody's talking about, oh, they should have open challenges. You are the same people that were saying, I am so sick of the open challenge when Cody had that title. Same ones.
I know that's what I said just now.
I'm so tired of it. Now you want it back.
No, I never said I want it back. I'm not saying I want it back. I'm saying that they're going to use it as an opportunity to the fact that there is the open challenge attached to the TNT title, to give him matches to people and then find someone to have a rivalry with him. So they're going to like use it for that kind of thing to build him up. But that doesn't mean I want it back. The fucking open challenges are still annoying.
Well, maybe not you, but there have been people since he won the title like, oh, they should bring the open challenges back, and these same people were so sick of it when it was Cody doing it, and I'm like, really? Now we're gonna do this again? Really?
So,
like, I was fine with it in the first place. You were bitching at me. Now you want it back? But I think Adam's onto something. They could easily, bring a feud back up between Wardlow and Luchasaurus. Those guys had an amazing match together already.
That would be interesting. Yeah.
And Luchasaurus has. I don't know what the fuck happened to him between bringing out the Lucha Underground gear and the Kane intro. I fucking love it all. Like, I don't even want to call him Luchasaurus anymore. I know I'm derailing. I'm sorry. I want to call him Dracarys, because that motherfucker looks like a fire-breathing dragon when he comes out. He don't look like no dinosaur.
So here's my thing about Wardlow winning the TNT championship. Going into this match, I wholeheartedly thought Wardlow was going to lose because it was a street fight.
Yeah.
And that's what Scorpio Sky wanted. So here's the thing. They should have let Sky win this match. But Wardlow got beat down by chairs and kendo sticks and 18 street fucking guys.
It was a street match beat.
Yeah, with weapons. And then Sky gets the 1, 2, 3 and walks away. And then here's this feud that Wardlow now has for the TNT championship. Let's make the title change worth something. Let's make it. Let's give Wardlow a little bit of a chase.
And to be real, I'm not saying they're on the same level, but there have also been reports this guy is kind of banged up like Kenny was. Like, he's not going to go away for a year, but he's had some nagging injuries that haven't gotten any better. He's tried to work through them, and I think that also played a factor. Like, we'll put this on Wardlow because he's probably the hottest commodity in AEW that's left. Like, with everybody injured, with everybody, kind of with Mox back on top, with whatever else, Wardlow is one of the, if you want to call it that, homegrown guys that has been built that is actually hot. As I said last week, you look at the rest of the pillars and what are they doing?
They're injured.
Next to nothing. They're either hurt
MJF,
or they're losing.
Hey.
Yeah.
He's on sabbatical.
Okay.
If you're MJF, you took your ball and went home.
Shut the fuck up.
You took a sabbatical.
Make me.
Exactly.
Exactly.
He took his ball and he went home.
Dumb. Cut the shit. He took a sabbatical.
Thank you.
What are you, Jade now? Fuck that.
He's on vacation.
Sabbatical.
He's on vacation.
You are way too short. You are way too short to be Jade. Fuck that. He took his ball and he left.
Shit up there. Cut the shit.
He pulled a Punk. I don't like the way I'm being booked. I'm going home.
Now, since we're talking about...
He's living up to his idol. And what's wrong with that? Luchasaurus is Kane Jr. Do you know how amazing Kane was when he first started out? Like, I'm cool with that.
Since we were talking about AEW, there is the rematch of the match of the year coming up on 7/23. It is 7-star FTR versus the Briscoes 2 at ROH. Death Before Dishonor. Get it right.
Shit's gonna be sick.
Holy shit. This match is going to be amazing.
Yes. Oh my fucking god, yes.
Yeah. I mean, let's be honest. FTR is the best tag team in the business, bar none.
Hands down.
And
did you hear the crowd chanting?
War,
on Wednesday
during
night,
the Young Bucks promo,
came out, they were the best. Everyone's like, FTR,
like,
FTR.
Don't get me wrong, they popped for the Bucks. The Bucks have actually gotten not booed, which is weird, but at the same time, when they started talking about title match, immediately the fans started chanting for FTR, and it was wow. Not that I blame them.
Firefighter, because this match is going to be one hell of a barn burner all over again. Oh my holy fuck, y'all.
That's the only question I have is like, how the fuck do they live up to the first one? Because it was.
I think you mean how do they top it? How do they top that first one?
I don't even think they can. I said live up to, because that first match was just like that is my match of the year right now.
Let's stop and think about this. How crazy would it be if the top 2 matches of the year was FTR versus the Briscoes?
I see it happening.
It could happen. And I'm saying that, and I'll be honest, I don't even like the Briscoes, but it could happen. My fandom has nothing to do with it. I really can't stand the Briscoes, but they put on a hell of a match with FTR, and they might have 2 of the best matches of 2022, depending on what happens at Death Before Dishonor.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, that's coming from a guy who doesn't fucking like them. Like, Mark Briscoe's cute. He doesn't have any teeth. Neither do I. Nobody thinks I'm cute.
Your wife does. You got one. Your wife.
Not really. You remember those words we were talking about earlier? No, I'm kidding. Or am I?
HR.
I know. If I keep this up, somebody's going to need an NDA. Wendy, do me a favor. Sign this document. You can't talk about it.
Nope. HR. I need
and
HR.
I will give you this lovely Wardlow figure.
Nope. You cannot buy my silence. I need HR.
I've got a pink stuffed narwhal I could throw in. Would that help?
HR.
Here, Wendy. I got
HR.
Wendy, I got a blue Bic that doesn't light for you.
See, my offer was good in comparison.
Oh my god!
Oh, hey.
Holy
He
shit!
said
It's a
it
miracle.
flicks a little bit.
Hey,
I
Wendy
might
just went,
consider
"Let there
that.
be fire." And
I might consider that.
really? Damn it, Wendy!
I'll have to talk to my lawyer about it.
Okay, I'm sorry. She deserves it. Where is it? Where is it? God damn it! All I can find is Wendy. Where's the boo? Fuck it, boo, Wendy, boo. There it is. Work.
Boo, Wendy.
There it is.
Oh, we're having too much fun.
Rate something mediocre. What's next on our list, Bruce?
So
It would never shock me if FTR Head and Shoulders best tag team in the world. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Brian. Hi, Brian.
So
Brian!
I call this segment convince high class. So
Convince me not to mark out if it becomes a ladder war, motherfucker.
no,
What are we convincing you of, high class?
I want you guys to convince me
Oh boy.
that it's worth it to watch Money in the Bank. I don't care that I know the outcomes. I mean, I see guys like Devin on Twitter and Facebook. They've watched it 3-4 times, and this guy's watched it
I'm not
twice.
one of those people.
So here's my thing. For someone to watch a pay-per-view that many times, that means that they love it, which is cool. That's good for them.
No,
But I want you guys, because I haven't watched it yet. I saw the card and I wasn't interested. I want you guys to convince me to watch Money in the Bank. Wendy, I'm gonna start with you. Convince me to watch Money in the Bank.
I mean, I didn't watch it either, so I may not be the best person for this. I will suggest tuning into SmackDown and Natty in that suit, but other than that, I really can't speak much on Money in the Bank, to be honest. I made an effort to convince myself that I should maybe watch it, but I couldn't bring myself to. I was like, I'd rather get like a root canal with no anesthesia again.
So I'm the only one that watched it.
I guess so.
Wow.
Apparently.
Shocker.
But convince us to watch it.
Convince us to watch Money in the Bank, Dom.
Jesus,
we know you
Christ.
can talk a lot, so convince us.
So do it.
Okay, well, Wendy, there was lots of pyro, so that's number one.
Okay.
And honestly,
but you forget,
I mean,
I live next to DC, so there was just a lot of pyro as well.
Yeah, there was a lot of pyro everywhere. I live in the middle of nowhere, and there was pyro.
Not impressed by that. So
I'm also going to point to what Mike and a few other guys have pointed to. If you have not seen Street Profits versus the Usos, you need to. It is a Briscoes FTR quality match. And we are also probably going to get this one again, and I am looking forward to it almost as much. That's the big sticking point. That's number one on the list. Number two is, if you, even knowing the outcomes, when you saw like who won Money in the Bank and how it went down, you were probably thinking, what the fuck? Like, you have to see it to actually believe it. Because even after I watched it, I had to look at my wife and go, wait, did that just happen? Like Austin Theory really won the Money in the Bank. He wasn't even supposed to be fucking in it. Like, that just happened, right? She's like, yeah, no, you're not drunk. It happened. And so it has its own shock value as well. But like Prophet's New Day, and honestly, Natty and Ronda had an amazing match. At one point, Ronda is holding her in a sharpshooter while doing the HBK pose with the leg out.
I saw a pic of that. Yeah,
I did too.
It is fucking like, there are some great moments in it. So I would say, if you haven't watched it, go back and watch at least a good bit of it. There is some stuff that you can probably skip right past.
Okay.
Like they may, or I'll be totally honest, because I was a little out of it. They may or may not have had something with Ezekiel and Kevin Owens. I didn't even pay attention. I tuned it all out, but there were times it, like the men's Money in the Bank match itself was great. The outcome, not so much. The women's match, a little bit more botchy, but still damn good. Profits Usos is worth it if that's all you go back and watch.
Okay.
I'm glad that guys like Devin or whoever are like, yeah, I watched it 4 times. Like, yeah, I watched Forbidden Door 3 times. That's just me.
Yeah. I know everyone's got their
But it's
thing,
worth a watch.
You
will be entertained. I'll give you that much. Like for
Okay.
what they had and the card that was there, it actually outshined itself on paper.
Okay.
I thoroughly enjoyed it. And again, if you watch Profits and the Usos and you don't come out of it thinking like that's match of the year candidate, there's something wrong with you.
Yeah.
All right, I might consider
it's amazing.
I think I might skim through it this weekend. I think I just might. So there are some things that I have seen from Money in the Bank, and I've seen videos and clips on Twitter or Instagram or even Facebook. So Wendy, you can chime in on this stuff too, because I'm sure you've seen the same clips that I've seen. Let's talk about the Theory uproar first. Let's talk about the IWC uproar for Austin Theory winning the Money in the Bank. And I'm going to tell the world right now, our very own resident psycho is very, very fucking heated about this.
I'm really not.
No, you are.
Really
I
not.
was part of yes, you are. I was part of the debate with you on Facebook. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give this to Dom to start this off. Don't take up the whole segment.
I won't. Believe me, I won't.
Just
put a timer on him.
I'm just fucking with you, bro. I want you to.
What's up, Nickel City Wrestling? What's up,
I want you to start this off and give us your thoughts on why you think Austin Theory is the wrong choice for winning the Money in the Bank.
Well, I mean, for starters, we'll go into this where people complain that WWE doesn't make stars. How do you make a star out of, as Bruce said, original OG Drew McIntyre 2.0? Did that work? No. How do you make a star who loses his title that night and then gets into a match because he's the boy of a man that sends unsolicited dick pics?
Well, look, who do you think gave Vince the idea? Sorry.
You may not be wrong there. But the biggest problem that I have, forget making this guy a star, forget all that. I understand Money in the Bank. I understand how it works. I understand we're having a last man standing match for these titles at SummerSlam.
Mm-hmm.
Does anybody really believe that Austin Theory, regardless of how this match goes, has a chance against either one of these two men after, on their own television, he ran from Brock Lesnar like a bitch in Elimination Chamber? Literally ran around a chamber with Brock walking after him. It was like something out of Michael Myers or even Pepe Le Pew. You remember how the lady used to, the female used to just run her ass off, and Pepe would just bounce behind real slow? Yeah. It looked like that in an Elimination Chamber. And you mean to tell me this guy is the star that's going to knock off, let's say Roman retains. This is the guy who's going to stop Roman's reign after a laundry list of guys have already tried, some of them multiple times, and fucking failed. This is the guy. This is the one that ends it.
100%. 100%.
Those two men, Paul Heyman would have to come in the ring after the match and put 9 slugs in both competitors for me to believe that Austin Theory could come down and cash in and take a title from either one of them. If they're breathing, he's done.
Here's the thing. They are going to beat the ever-living piss out of each other. The last one standing is going to barely be standing at all.
Mm-hmm.
And they will still beat Austin Theory.
Austin Theory
and they will still beat Austin Theory.
Austin Theory is going to come down and he is going to win both titles at SummerSlam. Yes, it's going to happen. They are pointing this young man to be the next John Cena.
Go back. No, they have. Yeah. Go back to story. Go back to what we talked about on this show. Austin Theory is the same man who could not beat Mustafa Ali without help. You think he can beat Roman Reigns after a last man standing match?
Absolutely.
Yeah, after like an all-out
Absolutely.
brawl, I can see it happening.
He almost
If it's an
lost to
all-out
freaking
brawl where
Mustafa
there's that,
Ali
like-
after he had the shit kicked out of him by the
Okay.
Miz and Ciampa. You mean to tell me he's gonna beat Roman Reigns after a last man standing? Get the fuck.
So let's move on to believability and cashing in a Money in the Bank briefcase. I am sorry, wrestling world, Liv Morgan is not the answer to the SmackDown Women's Division, and that win was not believable. Yes, I know she's paid her dues, she's done her time, she's been there forever, blah 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 blah. I don't think she's no.
You know what
No,
she's
not
done?
at all.
You know what she's really done? She's participated. We took the SmackDown Women's Championship and we turned it into a participation trophy. Thanks for being here. Here's your championship. I don't know about SmackDown because obviously it's on now and I'm not watching it. They haven't even put side plates on that belt for Liv yet.
No, she just came out with it. She's no.
You can get that same
what
thing.
What even is her gimmick? What even is her gimmick? She came out
who
today dressed
knows?
like a girl going to a fucking rave. I'm like, so you're going to a festival? You're a sad white girl going to a festival?
But that's I mean, who knows this? You can't really get her gimmick. You can't like she has improved in the ring a little bit, but not much. She has been put into positions where she's either been a punk rock clique, or she's been goth, or she's been at one point a lesbian.
Grungy.
I'm pretty sure she was one of the Doink the Clowns. She may or may not have been in Retribution. She may have been part of the NWO or at least the BB Club with Finn and AJ. You know, she's been involved. She's been involved. But what has she really done? She's participated. So that WWE Championship that you can get on WWEshop.com that she's running around with is a participation trophy. It's the same thing. Like go back last year and Nikki ASH. Like, was it a believable win? I guess, but it felt a little ridiculous. This one feels the same way. Like, was it believable? I guess.
I'll believe it more from Nikki ASH. To be
because
honest,
again,
though.
if you watch Money in the Bank, you will see that, like, yes, Ronda's knee was a little iffy, but like she literally beats Ronda by kicking her gently in the back of the knee and then rolling her up.
Yeah, they just showed.
And this is by the way, this is the baddest woman on the planet. Okay? Mm-hmm. And you beat her by gently kicking her in the back of the knee and then rolling her up. After a good match, but not one that I would call grueling, especially for Ronda, the baddest woman on the fucking planet, right? So that makes it a little less believable for me too, but we just have to like completely suspend reality and go with the promotion that killed kayfabe.
Yep.
Pick one, guys. Pick one. If you want me to believe if you want me to get rid of kayfabe in a shoot, there is no way that someone like Liv, no matter what, beats Ronda. Just like there is no way that somebody like Austin Theory beats Roman Reigns. Could he beat Bobby Lashley? No. Could Roman Reigns?
I'm more inclined to believe Austin Theory because if it's an all-out brawl and they just take the piss out of each other and they're just to that point of exhaustion where they can't even like open their fucking eyes, and then he comes in and it's like, oh hey, perfect timing, 1 2 3, what bitch?
Smacks him with the briefcase and cashes it in.
Exactly, and cashes it in.
But even that,
and that's how he's gonna do it.
Even that,
I'll believe that. I'll believe that. I'll believe that before I believe Liv Morgan.
Okay, and I was just trying to say that and agree with you. Even that, I would believe this much more than what Liv did. And I don't believe that's going to happen. So you do the math on that.
Okay.
And when they need a workhorse, no, when they need a participant, when they need a breathing body that isn't injured or walking out because they feel disrespected, they call Liv Morgan.
So hear me out.
I'm hearing.
I've mapped out this. I've watched this cash in a couple times on YouTube.
Okay.
They could have done it so much better than what they did. I mean, Liv Morgan has this finisher where she jumps off, where she sits on the middle rope and does this flatliner type finisher off the rope. Cool. Okay, that's your finisher. Well, Ronda was already leaned up against the ropes. Why wouldn't she run in, cash in, run and hit her finisher, get the crowd to pop even more? Because yes, the crowd popped for her.
They did, yeah.
They did.
And again, would have been more believable.
Even if Ronda would have kicked out of it, okay, cool. Let Ronda get a couple shots in, and then let Liv Morgan roll her up.
That would
1,
have made
2,
a lot
3.
more sense, yeah. But this was it set her up as a weak champion because it was like, oh no, like she got pulled into a fucking ankle lock and then just happenstance and luck.
Yeah.
It's either that or they could have. Why didn't, if Ronda was gonna lose the title, why didn't they just give it to Natty and have Liv Morgan stalk Natty? Give her a persona, give her a gimmick, give her a storyline to that championship.
I read somewhere that like Ronda wanted to drop it to Liv Morgan because she loved her passion.
Yeah,
and I'm
I
like,
read that
okay,
too.
great. So she's passionate, but she's not that good.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I get it. She's passionate and she's hardworking and she's participating, but again, like Wendy said, she's not that good.
It's like, I'm fucking passionate about wrestling, but you don't see me getting in there like, give me a title, y'all.
Like, I need as many subscribers as Chris Van Vliet because I'm passionate about what I do and I persevere and I work hard. But do I have that? No.
Damn, I wish we had his numbers.
I do too.
Yeah, I wish we had his money.
Believe me, life would be a whole lot better if we had his numbers. But we don't. But we've been here for almost 3 years every week, sometimes 2-3 times a week. We've been grinding at this shit.
Where's my
Does that mean we have 1 billion followers and $1 million in monetization money? Fuck no.
I wish.
Because that's not how it works.
Right.
But it works that way for Liv Morgan. And in some not as badly, but in some small similarity, Austin Theory. Oh, I'm sorry, it's just Theory now. I forgot.
Yeah.
Again, I'm gonna need someone to explain to me what is Liv Morgan's gimmick. I don't.
Yes.
Tonight
Wendy,
it was Sad Braver Girl, and that confused the hell out of me. And I was like,
Wendy and Tom versus Liv and Van Vliet. Take my money.
that would have been a better match.
I'm so down. Wendy will show this bitch how to wrestle.
I don't know about that, but I'll put up a fight.
So before we shut this shit down, there's one more thing that I wanted to talk about.
Okay.
What do you want to talk about,
the source, I'm not even going to call it a reliable source. I'm just going to say it's a source.
Okay.
And I read it, so this isn't coming from me or anybody that I know, but there is heavy rumors that Paige, Naomi, and Sasha will all be signing with AEW. Now, this can do one of two things. This can destroy that women's division, or it can help elevate it to make sure they get more matches. What?
Fucking, what's his name? Not Eli Drake and his mint modeling, whatever.
Mansory and Masse?
Masse. Well, Masse just came out in these like short shorts because they're coming out with their tennis collection. My man.
By the way, you're not titillating any of my fucking juices, okay?
No, I'm confused. Like,
I'd rather, honestly, I'd almost rather see a Vince McMahon dick pic. Like, straight up, I'd almost rather see a Vince McMahon dick pic than whatever the hell you're watching right now.
That right there.
I don't know what the fuck I'm watching.
That right there is ruining what could have saved Monday Night Raw. And
see, that's what I got heated about. If you recall,
with Cody and Seth on Raw would be amazing for Eli Drake.
but instead
my
he's
God,
Rick
What up, Devin?
Martel 2.0.
Mace
I'm
with Hoochie
legitimately
Daddy
bewildered.
shorts
Mase
on.
with the hoochie. Yes.
I am so
Yes.
glad my television is
I'm like-
off.
Oh, I'm so confused by it all. Oh.
Like that is not
I-
something I need to see on a Friday night.
No.
Mm.
Not something I need to see.
I'm
this-
not
I mean,
saying
if,
I don't need to
if that's
see
what
it,
our
I'm just
viewers
saying
want to
I'm
watch, I'll go
confused.
throw on a pair of my wife's short shorts right now and I'll come back. But
That's not what the HR. Someone call HR.
But I mean, here's
we have HR.
right? No, I can't. We can't afford HR. We can't even afford coffee. So how are we gonna
Ted,
have
do you mind
HR?
being the HR representative for us? Devin, somebody,
Right? Oh my God.
Mikey,
Bruce,
somebody.
saying-
You know, they could have done this gimmick fucking 3 years ago with Eli Drake and the Fashion Police, and it would have been fucking
Yes, that would have been so much
amazing.
better.
I mean, obviously, it would have blown up in their face, but they could have done something like this when they had a guy like, I don't know, Tony Atlas.
You know
It
what,
would've been so
you know
much
what,
better.
Devin? Honestly, I think Eli Drake could get this over. I honestly, wholeheartedly think
I
that
wouldn't
man
put
could
it
probably get
past
any
him.
gimmick over.
I wouldn't put it past him. It's like, but why? Oh, we got a volunteer. The devious one is head of HR. All right.
Thank you, Ivan.
He's not just our boss. He's the head of HR. He's trying to be
But
the Triple H
like
and
to-
and the road dog of Degeneration West, man. He's just running us like we're NXT.
I would like to file an HR complaint. Dom threatened to wear hoochie shorts on air, and I don't know how I felt about it. Like, I was scared for my life, and I was like, but for why?
What about a romper?
I wouldn't say threatened. It was more of a question than a threat. Like it was a query. It was a query.
Query? Get out. We're
Okay.
surveying the audience.
Whoa, we got a 401k and pension. Thanks, Devious One. We love you.
We get
Good
dental?
looking out, homie.
Use dental.
So,
I could really use some dental.
With all of that being said,
Yes.
that's a fucking wrap, y'all.
Bro, seriously.
Oh, but I was having so
That's
much
a
fun.
wrap.
Well, all right.
That's a wrap. Like, I actually thought
That
some of
was-
these were gonna take longer than what they took. So I guess next week I'll have to add some more just in case stuff.
Looks like it.
Yeah, seriously. Anybody live chat? You got anything? I'm kidding.
Ivan. That's too early. Sorry,
That was
bub.
too early. Go ahead, ask us something. Ask us anything, Devious One. You have the floor. For
Yeah.
Ivan, I'll fucking do it. I really will. Speaking of which, amazingly, whenever this show ends, if you're just looking for more of the Psycho, tune into Circle of Debate tonight. I'm gonna be going over my top 5 ECW moments with the crew.
Okay, yeah, that's what's up.
Hells
Tune in,
yeah.
y'all.
I am pulling double duty. Fuck Tony Stark. I am the Iron Man. Let's go.
Well, with that being
Yeah.
said, let's get to the social medias. So
Let's do it.
you can find us at Dos Places on Facebook. Yes, I'm working on my Spanish at work.
Muy bien.
Yes. And you can find us 2 places, same name, Top Rope Wrestling Talk. You can find us in our group where we go in. That's where we have all our fun. That's where we talk wrestling. We have our forums. We have our polls. We have our threads. We do everything there and just have fun. So if you want to join, just hit the join button, come on in and talk wrestling and have some fun with us. Then you can find us on our page on Facebook. That's where we promote the podcast and everything show related. You can also find us on the Twitter machine at Top Rope WT. Yes, you can find us on there. We go on there, we share everything. And yeah, we're pretty active on Twitter between Dom and I jump on there every once in a blue moon and do my best to retweet and shed some love. Then we also have the PWI award-winning Instagram handle for the worst handle
The worst.
ever,
The worst. The worst.
ever made.
Ever.
And that is at top_rope_wrestling_talk. And it's like, we can't even change that name if we wanted to, because that name is actually shared on other podcasts as the worst Instagram
Guys
name.
like the Devious One says it on almost every one of his podcasts. I'm like, we can't change this shit.
No. Hey, Wendy.
He just gave us pension and dental. We gotta keep that shit.
Wendy.
It's kind of like when your parents give you a weird name like Anferny with an F, but you can't be like, yeah, call me Tony because it's Anferny. Like, no, phony, it's not going to work.
No, phony, it ain't happening.
Name. You're stuck with it, phony.
Wendy.
Bruce.
Tell these mofos where they can listen to us. There it is.
You can find us on anchor.fm/TRWT. From there, wherever podcasts are freely distributed, Spotify, Stitcher, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, look us up, find us. If you really want to see these beautiful faces and hear this horrible singing, you can find us. Well, actually, you can hear the horrible singing everywhere. But if you want to see our faces,
technically,
you can find us on the YouTubes under Top Rope Wrestling Talk parentheses of Foxton Joan.
TRWT.
TRWT. Parentheses, a Fox and John, close parentheses. I wasn't that far off. I wasn't too far off. I was almost there.
She could just ask me any one of these weeks, you know?
I've got scrambled egg brains this week, so you'll have to excuse me. But yeah, you can find us. You can watch us. You can listen to us. You can comment. You can review. You can rate. You can share us. Share us with everybody. Share us with your mama, your neighbor, your nephew. Share us with that weird little kid down the street that runs up to you all the time and says, "Hey, mister, you got games on your apps?" Share us everywhere. Share us everywhere. Yeah, games on your phone. Sorry. Scrambled egg brains. Hey, Dom.
Wendy.
Dom.
Wendy.
Where can we get some lovely merch?
Well, you can find all of our merchandise, and I do mean all, because there's a vast variety of logos, choices, you name it, we got it, at trwtmerch.threadless.com. You go there, you're going to see all our logos first. When you click on one of them, you're going to see the bevy of options that logo comes on, whether it be a mug, a tumbler, a sticker, a magnet, a beach towel, it's summer, bath mats, shower curtains, bedspreads, pillows, onesies, hoodies, t-shirts for men, women, boys, leggings, slip-on shoes. The list goes on, but to see it for yourself, go to trwtmerch.threadless.com and get you a little something today. Make us some money while you're there.
Hell yeah.
Right?
All about it. All about it. Do us a favor, y'all.
I love you too, De Niro. I'll see you soon, actually.
So, Wendy.
Bruce.
Say it.
Stay fresh, cheese bags.
Tom.
Really isn't much going on this weekend, but enjoy wrestling anyway. Go back and watch something or shit, find a new promotion. I don't know. Just enjoy your weekend. Stay safe out there, Wastelanders, and enjoy wrestling. If it's not your cup of tea, let somebody else drink it.
Deuces, bitches.
There it is. Once again, there it is. There it was.
Bye.
150 some episodes of Deuces, bitches. And this time I didn't call him a douche.
Yeah.